All right, everybody, welcome to our live Twitch course design session. My name is Crazy Canuck 1985, and what I want to do, I'm gonna probably try to get this onto YouTube. My YouTube page has been blowing up as of late with these new Course Design 101 tutorials. I have 3 videos up there, and I'm up over 1,000 views just on those first 3 in just over a day, so might not sound like much in the YouTube community, but for me, it's quite a bit. I'm really like doing them and introducing people that are brand new to the game into this designer. This stream is probably going to be geared a little bit more towards people that have an idea. They've built some golf holes. They're just like more intermediate to advanced designers. So in my tutorials, I talk about the exactly how to do things, how to lay things down. In this stream, I want to talk more about the why. Why am I putting this here? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? So I'm going to try as best I can. I haven't really done a stream like this in a little while, especially not one I'm going to put on YouTube. But we're going to do our best. Starting a course is the hardest part of design, I think, for me. So I'm hoping something comes to me pretty quickly, but we'll see. So let's jump in the designer, and hopefully by the end of our YouTube video here today, we will have created the first hole of our new golf course. So let's jump in and let's design a golf course. So yes, we are on Twitch. If you have any questions and you're watching live, you can just punch them in. People on YouTube should be able to see the Twitch chat coming up on the top, or on just above, right there. Hopefully. I don't know if anyone can test that's anyone's live, but there's like 19 people in here, so there we go. It's working. See, it's working. Perfect. So yeah, if you guys have any questions along the way, I can stop what I'm doing, show you exactly, hopefully try to show you exactly what you need to know. So let's call this Twitch course for now. Alright. So we are going to, I think I'm going to do a Highlands course. I'm thinking something like rugged, linksy style. Something like that. Okay. Can you play this game co-op? Yeah, it's a lot of fun multiplayer. Definitely a lot of fun to play multiplayer. They've also fixed online multiplayer too, so. But yeah, it's good to play with someone just sitting beside you, and it's a good golf game. I highly recommend it. Alright, so I've got our Highlands theme. Now, I kind of want it to be a little bit more rugged, so I'm going to crank my hills up there. Now, Highlands won't create any large trees. It'll just create kind of bushes and shrubs, so I'm going to keep those kind of high. I think in the video I said I put these all down to 0. That's not necessarily true. I don't do that all the time, but we'll just keep this here. If you love the do, thanks for the host, my friends. Appreciate it. We'll put rocks down to there, sure. Something like that. Okay. Next is our layout, if we remember. We are making an 18-hole course, but we don't want anything auto-generated, so that goes down to 0. All these go down to 0. Like that. And we should now have some sort of auto-generate. Hey, Arctic Fury designed the course. If you guys are looking for a designer, arguably Arctic Fury's probably the best designer in the game, I would say. Okay, so what do we want this to look like? So now, once I get to this point, hopefully, usually I have some sort of idea of what I want to build. I don't really have too much this time. I'm kind of thinking an islandy kind of course, so I want to pick my backdrop first. Serious question, how do you build a mountain cliff that looks good? I'm going to show you that next, because I want to kind of do a mountainous, hilly course. I'm going to show you how I start things off. So, first of all, I'm going to change my environment. Oh, we forgot one more thing. We have to, before we do that, We got to go to our course settings, make sure all this is set to 0. Like that. Alright, I think now we have everything. Okay, environment. My backdrop. I'm going to have to pick this one. This one doesn't have any mountains around it. It's kind of very islandy. We'll do that. And now we've got mountains all around. Okay, now if you notice, weird with Highlands theme is when you turn the clouds on, and I'm going to show you this how to change this in a later course tutorial video, but the clouds really interfere. They cast a lot of shadow. So pretty much with all my courses, once I hit weather, I set my clouds to 0. Oh, I did not do that correctly. I set my clouds. Still trying to figure this designer out myself. There we go, to 0. There we go, much brighter. And you can set fog, things like that. Again, things I'm going to cover in a later video. You make it super foggy. Kind of looks like the surface of Mars. I wouldn't recommend that. Okay. So we have this kind of islandy thing. But if you notice, there's this really nasty, gross, I don't know, looks like cat vomit terrain here. I don't like any of that. So we're going to get rid of that right off the bat. It's going. So, we're going to sculpt that. Slow down a bit navigating the menus. Yeah, again, like I said, this tutorial is going to be kind of more geared towards the Y. I will try to slow down as much as I can, but if I want to build a golf hole in less than 3 hours, I'm going to have to get things going a bit. Like I said, my tutorials on YouTube are going to be a little more in-depth, but I will try. So right now I'm just using kind of just a weird kind of brush that does two purposes. It gets rid of this ugly cat vomit thing, and it kind of helps create a funky looking coastline. I'll do something like that. So, I'm getting rid of this. Your cat hurls 5 times a day. Ooh. Gross. Alright, so we're just getting rid of this. Yeah, this is taking a lot of extra terrain off, but we will still have plenty of room. Alright, so we're going to play with the coastline and stuff a little bit later. Drew Burdick, thanks for the YouTube sub. I appreciate it. Yeah, we picked up about 50, 60 followers in the last day on YouTube, so or subscribers, which is kind of cool. Okay, whoop, we forgot a little bit here. And there. Okay, so we kind of have this plot of land here, and I'm looking for kind of something rugged. Now, I did say I was going to do something involving, sorry, I'm just getting rid of this. I don't have a set plan of what I want to talk about here, so I'm flying off the seat of my pants here. My tutorials are a little bit more organized than this, but I'll do my best. Okay, so someone asked a question. I can't remember. Seflin, maybe? Sefin? How do you build a mountain cliff that looks good? Well, let's do that right off the bat. I'm going to save everything first, just to say, okay, I'm happy with this plot. And I'm kind of thinking maybe we'll build like a coastal course, which has, you know, a few holes. Like the coastal holes kind of go along the water. Maybe we got some nice mountain cliffs here. I'll probably lower that a little bit. I mean, we can build a few holes along the coastline, and then I'm thinking maybe the middle of my island is going to be a little more raised. So let's maybe try to build a few kind of bigger mountains. So I'll show you how I do that. I use a few different brushes. And again, this varies from person to person. So I usually start off with my fuzzy little brush. Again, I talk about this in my tutorials a lot. This fuzzy brush, and I kind of want to get it to it. I make it pretty big. And I want to raise some land to, you know, an acceptable height. And I might put some holes down here too, some elevated holes as well. I don't know, something like this. I mean, that's a nice little soft, gentle, I would just probably call this a hill. I wouldn't call it a mountain. If we want to get a little bit more rugged with our mountains, let's try to build something maybe a little bit bigger here. Start something fairly high.
Oh yeah!
Something like that. Another YouTube subscriber. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm playing on PC. Okay, so we've got kind of our hill there. And I really like this brush here. I don't know how I would describe that one. The explosion brush or something. I don't know. So what I would do is I'd kind of make it bigger and just fiddle with it a little bit. You see how it's kind of making things a little bit more rugged? See that? Instead of just your straight up hill. There is a bit of a bug in the designer where the heights are not set at 0 all the time. I heard that's going to be fixed. So, you know, something like that. That's a little bit more of a rugged hill. I don't know if that helps at all. But, yeah, like we can build a little bit more with that. Maybe we will... See, like right now, it like default sets to a certain height, whatever height you're sitting at. You have to click the stick to make it proper. That sucks, but... Okay, so anyway, here's our hill. Or mountain-ish thing. And then I'll use my little explosion-y brush. And again, my biggest piece of advice is just experiment. There we go. Kind of a cool looking mountain there. Sort of. Sort of, kinda. What do you guys think? I don't know. So, I mean, that's a basic mountain. You can get a lot more dramatic, but I mean, that's a start. I mean, maybe we can build our first hole almost right in through our valley here. Yeah, rotating the brush, things like that. You can do things like, if we have here, if you press the Y button, you can go to Advanced Edit, and then you can scale the X-axis, or you can scale the Z-axis, and you can make this look very different. You can see now this brush looks very different. And those kind of create a little bit more ridges. I don't really like that. But yeah, as you can see, you can do a lot with that stuff. Okay, so now when you're building a fantasy style course, for me anyway, it's really, I find it really hard to get started. More for the case of, like, if I have no ideas, like, where do I go? Like, I don't just have all these ideas up in my head. Sometimes they'll just pop up and say, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to put here. But I just like to go to Google Images for some inspiration. I'll just type in, like, Link's golf holes or whatever, something depending on the theme you're using. I'll just take a look, and I might pick off a few little, oh, I like how they did the bunker there, or I like that elevation change. Something like that, and I'll work on it from there. Something like that. Hey, Eric. Yeah, I'm hoping. Eric's a very prominent designer in the community. He streams quite often, so give him some love when he's on Twitch as well. He does some good stuff for the community. Okay, so let's start off by building... Let's, like, build a coastal first hole. Maybe something that starts... Oh, I don't know, something up here. We'll add our golf holes. Maybe something about here. We're going to build a par 4. Maybe. That does this. It's going to be a long par 4. We're at 475 yards, but... I don't know if I want it that long. I want it there. Okay, and there we go. So all we do have now is our tee box and our pin. So, actually we should set this tee box settings to 0 as well. T-box settings. There we go. Want to start everything from scratch. Okay. So, I do like to fiddle with the lighting. I would definitely be a more aesthetic designer. I like my courses obviously to play well, but I want them to look good too. I will talk a little bit about lighting in a later video, but I find lighting, especially having lighting pop on the first couple holes, really, I think, sucks a player in. So it's a trick. If you play any of my courses, I will have probably some of the most dramatic views, dramatic lighting effects on the first couple holes, because that really sucks the person in, saying, wow, this is an interesting course. And then later on, once you start building holes going in the other direction that maybe don't look as good, you kind of already have people enjoying it, and they don't mind. You can't build all the holes into the sun. I've done it before. I mean, you can do it, but you have to think about the wind. The wind doesn't change too much direction-wise as you're playing around. So, I mean, if you got a 15-mile-an-hour headwind the entire round, not going to be much fun. I love how you can... Cyborg says, did you cover bunkers in one of the first 3 videos? No. Bunkers are my very next video. I'm either doing bunkers or T-boxes next, I'm not sure. But bunkers are coming very soon. I love that you can set the green to true 0 now. Yeah, so like no green on the edge there. I know, that's handy to have as well. Okay, so back to lighting. So I'm going to kind of make this a little more dramatic. So there's three switches. The time of day, obviously the lower the sun is in the sky, depending on the day. Orientation, that's where the sun is in the sky, 360 degrees. Something like that, maybe. Inclination, that's how high it is in the air. I mean, that's a bit more of a dramatic effect, something like that. GC Karma, thanks for the follow. And then if you look, so kind of pretty much all holes going in this direction are going to look really nice. But if you do turn it around, and we're going to have some holes facing in this direction too, you're going to notice lighting-wise it seems a little flatter, which is, again, is fine. Lighting is, it's important, but it's, again, playability is much more important. So I want to try to maximize, my, I would say, pretty-looking holes, but keep the routing as realistic as I possibly can. So sometimes when I'm designing, I will, before I even start building a hole, I will roughly lay out where I'm going to place my 18 holes. Sometimes I just go one hole at a time. I'm just going to go one hole at a time here because it's a bit of a process to lay down all 18 at once, because I hum and haw on where some things are going to go. So I won't do that. We're just going to build this hole. I don't know if I'm even going to have this course is even going to see the light of day, but this is more just a tutorial thing. Okay. How are we doing so far? Is this okay? Anything else you guys want me to focus on, highlight on? I've never done, I haven't done a tutorial like this in a very long time, so if you got any suggestions or feedback live, let me know. So, I just went through and deleted everything. So this is kind of my space. Yeah, I'm just thinking looks-wise. Well, we're not going to worry too much about looks. We want to lay down the golf hole first. Hey, S-Mac, what's up? Okay, so when I design, again, this differs from designer to designer. I like to design green backwards. Might be different for some people. I don't know, Eric, what your method is, but I like to go from the green and work backwards. I don't know why. It's just something I've always been doing. I find it gives me the best results. So let's start with a green. And you will have to excuse my spline use. I'm still learning splines. I mean, I'm highlighting them in my tutorial videos, but I am very much a beginner with these splines. Because I used to lay down all my surfaces just using the shapes tool. So having this going on can be, well, I'm still learning. So, okay, so I kind of want my green to be right up on the edge of this cliff. So we'll kind of put it in here. Get pretty big. Oh, I'm gonna need a fence for sure. Less Fox N. Let's just call you that. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. So maybe I'll have the green kind of jut out like this. So go. We will close our path. We will fill our splines. We will smooth the entire path. And we will toggle the second surface with rough. Again, I covered all that in our tutorial videos. But man, that makes it so easy. I'm going to make the rough a little bit thicker here. 4.5 might be a good natural. Natural one, 4.5. Yeah, Eric says I'm going to need a fence here, and he is totally right. I'm going to need a fence here. Okay, Foxen has a question. How do you add more T's to the course? I will cover that in a little bit, and also on the tutorial videos as well. And you tried making a course earlier today, but it only gave me... Oh, wait, 1 T. Okay. And 2 is... They only gave you 1 T. I'll show you how to make more T's. And how do they know how to have foxes in the creator? Ooh, good question. Yeah, their wildlife is... I haven't looked too much at the wildlife, what they put in there, but... They used to have bears in the first one. Until a lot of people like to have them fornicating. Probably a reason why they got rid of them. Alright, so I'm just gonna smooth my edges here. So I'm just using my fuzzy brush flatten tool here. So I'll just flatten. The scaling option, how you can change the size of the brush and the shape of the brush. Yeah, I haven't experimented with it too much. Right now I'm just kind of going off a lot of my TGC 2 design strategies, but... Now I don't really like this green. So we're going to start over. Get rid of it all. I'm going to try that again. I don't like that green. I'm having trouble visualizing with the splines and what I want my green to look like. So something I need to work on for sure. So let's try this green again. I just didn't like the shape. I found it was too big in some areas. I kind of like things to be a little bit tighter. Try something like that. Close path, sharpen and smooth. Smooth the path. Drag some of the waypoints around. Yeah, I mean, I could have done that as well. For me, I kind of just find it's quicker for me just to blow everything up. Start again. This is looking better. For me, anyway. Personal preference. I am going to play with splines a little bit here. There's a couple things I want to fix. We're just going to tinker with a few of these splines here. Oop. Someone did ask me in the tutorials how to get a really straight line with the splines, and that's a really good question that I think I've seen people on the forums are having some trouble with that as well. There we go. So this looks a little funky up here. Yeah, and that is a thing that I do want people to know, that I am very fast with the designer. So tell me to slow down if need be. I've had a lot of experience with it. I can manipulate the tools pretty fast, and that's through hundreds of hours in this designer. So don't try to compare my speed to a new designer, and just take your time, learn the tools, learn how they work, and go from there. Alright. So there's our little green there. Still don't love it. It's too big. Too big. See if we can. Let's see if we can edit splines to fix this. I don't like it. See, editing splines for me, that'll take me forever. Let's try again. One more try. Sorry, guys. This is live designing. Okay. Take 3. I know what my shape is. I'm just making the green too big. Just making too big. And this. That's better. I like the shape right off the bat, too. Perfect. Okay, that'll do. Just for sake of Twitch, I probably would redo this about 6 more times, but let's get this tutorial moving, so we'll just keep it at this. Alright, now, another little trick I like to do is right now this green is laying really flat against kind of the rest of the terrain. I like to pop the green up a little bit, just a little bit. So what I use my terrain flatten tool, and I pick one of my sharper brushes. Rocksteady, thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. So right now I'll kind of use this rounder, or more round brush, and I'll up it about a foot. Maybe 2 feet. Let's see how. So right now I'm just trying to connect the edges. It's not going to come out as super cool. Right now it's getting a little bit not quite. Almost, but not quite. So I'm going to use my softer brush and we're going to fix a lot of what I just did there. And we're smoothing the edge out too, because I don't want a really sharp drop off from the green down. I just more of a gradual one. There we go. Alright, I'm happy with that. Alright, so I'm going to ignore the green for now. It's funny because I create the green first. I go around, build the rest of the hole. Tee-boxes, fairways, bunkers, planting, everything. And then I come back to the green at the very end, and that's where I add my pin positions and I contour my green. So I save that actually till the very end. Okay. You like the front edge of that green? Yeah, I use this area here, I like the shadow on it, kind of pops a little bit. So that's a quality you'll see quite often on my course, on some of my courses. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. If I can try to visualize, show you guys what I'm thinking. I'm thinking kind of a bunker here, maybe a pot bunker, something like that. Something simple. Okay. Fairway, I will probably gonna have, it's gonna be a little bit dramatic. It's gonna kind of wrap around like this. And that's about all I've thought of so far. I'll be honest. That's about it. So we'll go from there. But that's my idea so far. All right, well, we got 34 people watching the design stream. Thanks, guys. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you're new and you want me to slow down, anything you want me to show, just let me know. But right now, I'm kind of just putting a placeholder, just kind of a rough, just so I remember later on that I'm putting a bunker there. So that'll draw my brain to say, hey, that looks like a good place for a bunker. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, I wanted a bunker there in the first place. Just something to help me remember. Okay. Now we're going to spline something. Okay. What are we going to do here? Fairway. Whoops. Create add. Surfaces, fairway. Alright, so this is the plan. Start it up here. And I kind of pop it up like this. Hey, NeoGlitz, how's it going? Like this. I like a lot of long curves. You won't find too many straight lines on a Crazy Canuck course. Alright, so I'm probably going to go to about 200 yards. Well, 170. I might like a little blind tee shot here. I'm going to pinch the fairway a little bit here. Now, as new designers, it might be tempting to say, okay, well, the driver on the Master Clubs goes about 285 yards, so I'm going to make the fairway super narrow all the time, right at that distance to make it harder. A little bit cheap. But, you know, making it tougher sometimes is helpful for sure. You don't want the course too easy, you don't want it too hard. Yeah, this is a pretty basic fairway. But that's what we'll do. You saw this fairway snaking in the opposite direction. Oh, really? Interesting. The other way. Oh, you mean starting from the edge. I like that edge so much. You know what? The reason why I didn't do that? I like this edge so much. I want to do something in here. I don't know what yet, but I want to do something planting-wise, maybe another bunker, something there. So that's kind of why I decided to go the other way. You might be totally right. The way going this way might be the better look. But, I don't know. We'll try this for now. Alright, so we'll do this. Splines take some getting used to. Alright, we'll close the path. We'll fill the spline. Oh, so much extra time. Or so much easier to lay fairway. We'll do that, and then we will toggle our second surface with heavy rough. One thing I would like to see, and hopefully they fix this, is we made our secondary rough here with the 4.5. It would be nice that once you set it for one, it just stays locked for all of them. But yeah, I can see how people might want differing sizes, but I don't know. I don't. It's me. Just me. Holy moly. My phone's blowing up here. Hold on. Hold on. It's mostly YouTube. A lot of followers. Crazy. Crazy. Sorry. Alright. Okay, there's my fairway. Good starting point. Nice and smooth. But we got all this, I don't know. Some guy would need to, I don't know what, like, how would you mow this in real life? We gotta get rid of that. We gotta flatten all that out. So let's do that now. I boosted me on TGC Tours Twitter. Whoa. Thanks, buddy. I got a retweet from John McCarthy, who's a commentator on this game. I got a shout out from the Golf Club Games Twitter account today, so that's definitely helping me get a few more people. Yeah, I believe Eric runs that, so. Alright, so we're just flattening this. Now what I'm thinking on this course is actually not it to be like a traditional links. I'm actually might think about throwing some trees in. We'll see. And there. So we got a sharp, very steep hill here. So usually making this softer brush a little bit bigger kind of helps flatten everything out. So it's more of a gradual uphill other than a really dramatic one. Yeah, that featured fairways that you're doing on Twitter that's a good idea. I like it too. Highlight some new courses, some potentially new designers. Okay, so we've smoothed that out. Oh, we still have a giant hole here. We gotta fix that. Timber Pete, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Alright. I mean, something like that. I'm liking the kind of gentle uphill here that we got going on. Alright. So, we've got a fairway. We probably need some bunkers, don't we? Alright, so I'm planning on putting something bunker-wise probably around here. I'm probably going to back the tee up a little bit. We'll get to that in a bit, but because this bunker right now from the back tees at 260, if you're using the good clubs, won't quite be in play. But I do like putting bunkers at different distances. So, I mean, this might be in play for the pro clubs, whereas maybe a bunker here might be in play for the master clubs. Yeah. I realize me trying to talk my way through what's going on in my brain, trying to think of how this hole is going to play. A lot more difficult than it sounds. All right. Let's see. What's up, Reeb? How you doing? There's another fantastic designer, by the way, Reeb Duke. Alright, now, I'm still not sold on splines for bunkers. I think bunkers, I'm still probably going to use shapes. I mean, I'll try, but I don't know, they just look kind of frumpy. Having elevation issues on greens? Mine seem to be showing. And I've raised this a bunch. Maybe that's not what you mean. Okay, anyway, in terms of bunkers, kind of depends what you want to do. You can lay these kind of funky shapes. Some people like them, some people don't. Just depends on what you want to do. If you want more traditional shapes, you're kind of using the softer edges, things like this. I like to kind of create my own using kind of just the circles, but that's just me. As a new designer, I recommend don't just say, oh, I like this shape, there's a bunker. And then, oh, I like this shape, there's a bunker. It'll start getting really plain really fast. So use the shapes to kind of create your own. Advanced Edit works right for bunkers. Oh, we should talk about Advanced Edit as well. So, I mean, you could lay a bunker down. I like this shape too. So here's just a regular bunker. Let's just say I laid it down like this. You get a bunker that looks like that. Or you can hit our Y button here and turn on Advanced Edit, and then you can scale the bunkers. They actually look a little bit different. Something like that. And if you lay that down, you get something that looks like that. So same shape, but skewed. And options are endless there. I don't use Advanced Edit a ton, I'll be honest, but guys like Reebdug, when he makes his bunkers and stuff, he can get his bunkers looking really cool with those. Terminal velocity. How many courses come with the game? Well, this game has a course designer, which we're in, so thousands. You'll never get bored. Not all the courses are good, but there's plenty enough good designers that you'll be playing a pretty solid course. Multiple awesome courses, a lot, every day, and never get bored, and different ones all the time. Okay. So, we're still trying to lay a bunker here. So I'm just going to kind of show you what I do. Just kind of use these little shapes. I have no idea what I'm really doing here, but you just kind of, I'd like to experiment. Just use my little circles. That. And again, this is probably not how a lot of people do theirs, but just a way I do it. Obviously not a traditional style bunker. I like that. Here's a good start. Something like that. And then I always ask myself, this bunker doesn't look like anything weird, does it? Then that's all people will think about. I've noticed it's really easy to make a penis-shaped bunker and not know. Alright, let's see. So let's put something in here. I think I'll put some of my signature bunkers. So, another thing I like to do is, when I'm thinking about the tee shot, I like kind of showing the entire hole. I don't like any blind bunkers or bunkers that when you're just standing on the tee you can't see. I like kind of to open the hole up to everybody. There's some times where I'll have a blind tee shot, but it has to be on purpose. So what I'm going to do here is, I'll show you. I'm going to lay down the bunkers first. And my well, I guess they're kind of my signature because I tend to put them on everything. And they're really simple. I just do 2 or 3. It's just straight kind of round bunkers right next to each other. Right about the same size. 1, 2, 3, or do I want 2? I want 3. Alright, so this is before I've done any sculpting. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to show off these bunkers a little bit more. Okay, so this is going to take a little bit of kind of finer sculpting. Again, we're going to use, in terms of brushes, I like to use flatten. Again, I just find I get more consistent results with flatten. And this little fuzzy brush, and I'm just going to kind of raise the top edges of the bunkers up a little bit. This should, if I do this right, doing this very quickly, but a little bit. That edge is coming up a little funny. And right now I'm kind of just tilting the whole bunkers so they're more at an angle, not as flat. Something like that. As you can see now, you see more of the bunker. Well, I gotta catch up on some chat here. Grass bunkers are good too. So yeah, like just natural mounding that kind of looks like bunkers too. Maybe some longer grass, things like that. Commentary is helpful. Okay, I'm trying to talk my way through it. I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to talk about what I'm doing here. All right, so I'm gonna go to flatten. I'll try to do the same thing with this one. Bunkers kind of on hills can be very tricky. I'm just kind of just lifting the bunker up, like presenting it. Like here it is. I'm trying to make it a little more intimidating off the tee. There we go. I think that looks a lot better than what we originally had. Okay, so, I mean, I've got a bunker here. I still don't totally love this bunker, I'll be honest, but I'll leave it for now. And then I'm going to probably do just a very simple round bunker here. Create surfaces, bunkers. I'll put one right there. Something like that. And we'll do a little sculpting here. I love the 3 bunkers, but potentially they read as a different style overall than the custom one I created. Yeah, and that's kind of why I want to change it, because like these are more of a traditional style bunker, where this one's more of a... I don't even know what the hell this is. So yeah, I agree, and I'm probably gonna... I just might go back and tear that out and try it again. Alright, so something like that. Okay. Alright. So I am going to... I probably haven't shown you something like this. If you've laid a whole bunch of brushes or a whole bunch of... Yeah, like a whole bunch of brushes or a whole bunch of plants, and you don't like them, we gotta learn how to delete. So highlight one of the shapes, click on bunker brush, and go down to delete. Oh, where's my there it is. I'm sorry. Go down to multi-select, and then go to area delete, and this little red brush will show up, and just kind of make it big as all the brushes, and then instead of deleting it shape by shape, you can delete the whole thing rather quickly. There we go. What's up, Mashley? Okay, so let's try again with... Now this is kind of where sometimes some designer luck kicks in. So remember when we were kind of trying to present this last bunker? I've deleted it, but I've kept the sculpting. And I've kind of created these natural stairs, which I really like. I'm kind of picturing a bunker here, and then a bunker up here. And then maybe a bunker down here. I mean, that's only at 215 yards, but I'm going to back the tee up anyway. Let's just do that right now. Back it about 30 yards back. So, yeah, like Eric said, you got a good opportunity to layer some things here. Now these bunkers are a little bit out of play now. Hold on. Back up. Did I do that? No, I did not. There we go. Something like that. I might just layer 2 bunkers here. So let's try, let's play with that. So we will go to surfaces, bunkers... brush. I'm gonna try this oval brush. And yeah, like I said, right now I am just playing around. I have no plans. I don't even know right now what this bunker is gonna look like, but that's easy. Sure, that's fine. And some course designers are a lot more methodical, and they're a lot more picky about what they do. They'll redo everything. They'll fix things up, they'll second guess, they'll this, they'll that, and they create some outstanding courses. It's just not my style. I'll lay something down. If I like it, if I don't like it, I'll get rid of the whole damn thing and just try to rebuild it, make it look different. But other people just they'll really focus in on one little thing and just try to make it perfect. And those are usually very polished courses. But my courses tend to be a little more rough around the edges. See, I don't like that, so I just delete everything. Start it over again. Start it over again. Now let's try another brush here. Who could that be? I'm not naming any names. Alright. So let's try to keep this as simple as we can. I said simple. That isn't simple. So let's try these. Something like that. Maybe we'll try our advanced edit. Maybe make some different shapes. And we're trying to link our shapes here. Again, these bunkers are getting a little wacky. I think I want them to be a little bit more... word I'm looking for. Unassuming. let's add it here. One's a little bit tougher to get. Yeah, that's fine. For the purpose of this tutorial, I don't want to spend forever on things, so there we go. Oh. I disconnected my microphone. Or not my microphone, my speaker, or my headset. There we go. Okay, so let's just tinker with this sculpting-wise a little bit. Oops. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, I am going to use a raise. Drop some of those down and pick some of these up. Alright, so I always kind of put myself back at the tee, and I like it. I like this. Still not sure what this is going to... There's going to be something here. I just don't know yet. I need some time to think about it. So, there's our bunkers. They're down, but they are not done yet. Okay? So if you just kind of lay a... I'll just show an example here. Let's just use a real general example. Let's just say you've got a flat piece of land here. Save this first. We're going to look at sculpting bunkers, and it's a thing a lot of beginner designers don't know how to do or don't bother doing. So let's just use a real basic example. I'm going to lay down 2 bunkers. That one and that one. So some people just say, okay, there's my bunkers. I'm done. But I'll show you the difference. Here, I'm going to keep that bunker just like that. But this one, I'm going to do some sculpting. So I'll show you how I do some general sculpting. This varies from designer to designer. I don't think I'm a great... I would say I'm an average bunker sculptor. There's a lot of guys that are like... Guys like Griff, Reeb Doog. They are very meticulous. Eric as well with their bunkers. I'm not... But I'll show you kind of what I do. Alright, so... Dragging the flat brush doesn't work for you. I actually never played with the bunkers yet, so I'm gonna see. This one's gonna be easy. So all I do is I take my little round brush, flatten, and I just drop things down a little bit. And I go too deep. I went too deep. So that's fine. We're just practicing here. And then I kind of like to use the raise and kind of raise the bunker edges up. I mean, that's a really quick job. But you tell me, which bunker looks better? I mean, I'm hoping you say that one. So adding some depth to the bunkers is very important. Dragging the flat brush. Oh, dragging for... Yeah, that's... I used to do that a lot. But I agree with Reeb. It doesn't quite have the control. I'll do it in finer points, but I find I have to go back and delete things quite a bit. Okay, so I'm going to do this still flattened thing. This. And I might try to do some clicking and dragging here. Alright, so... About 11 inches seems to be a sweet spot for kind of an average bunker length. I'm just clicking and dragging here. I'm getting about the same results. I'm kind of just tracing through. Again, this isn't what everyone does. Yeah, okay, I can see. The results are getting a little bit more inconsistent, I'm noticing. I kind of have to go in and just single click to fix some things. There we go. A little deep. Bring that up a bit. Same here. This is a little bit deep for my liking. Bunkers are tricky. Bunkers are tricky. Yeah. Brush doesn't quite work like it did in TGC 2. Have to fiddle with that a bit. Fiddle with that a little bit, I think. We'll go from there. It'll work for now. Alright, try this with this guy. It's here. I'm just doing the click and drag method, and we'll try and we'll see how this works. Yeah, it's not working like it was in TGC 2. So it's just going to be a little bit finer roll. Yeah, that's what I'm noticing. What Cyborg's noticing, you're getting a lot of ripples. So you're just going to have to be a little bit more precise. So what we're talking about is you used to be able to kind of just hold down your A button and just drag around your bunker, and you'd get kind of nice. You get a nice, pretty nice sculpt. Depth would be pretty consistent, but I'm noticing here with the new game, the consistency's gone a little bit. I don't know if that's going to get fixed or what, but okay, my round bunkers I like to get a little bit deeper here. These hot bunkers here, all about the same depth. Those are too deep. Redo. Too deep. Go about there. 2, 3. Sure, better. No, you're not going crazy. They're not going crazy. And we'll fix this bunker up here. Okay. I'm just going to fix the edges a little bit. But again, any new designers in here, don't be shy. Feel free to ask a question. Either me or some other designers in the chat can definitely answer it for you. Okay, like it. Okay, so bunkers, for the most part, are done. Like I said, still something's got to go here. I just don't know yet. But let's go on to T-boxes. Something I have not covered yet in our tutorial series. But we'll look at them quickly this time. Alright, Cullen, see you later, man. Appreciate you popping in, saying hi. Okay, so right now, if I were to put a T-box here, all this work I've done has been eliminated because I would just be staring at this. And this is another common beginner mistake with the designers. If they have these big hills right in front of their tee boxes, and all their nice looking work gets destroyed because you can't see any of it. So this area between the tee boxes and the fairway, we really need to work on smoothing this out. And again, there's so much you can do here. Like, we could have it elevated and maybe make a sharper cliff with some planting. We could have a smooth drop off. We could do a ton of things here. But right now we're just going to do some basic smoothing here. I'm just going to use, again, my fuzzy brush, flatten. Just kind of work my way down. Smoothing wise. Get rid of all this. In. Now, I might come back and add a little bit more character to this, but as you can see now, I still have to flatten this up now. As you can see now I can see my hole again. Still not perfect, but we'll fix it in a second. Okay, I'm finally going to get to a question that was asked like an hour ago about tee boxes. And again, I'm going to make a video on this at some point, maybe even today. But yeah, the game always starts you out with one tee box, okay? Most people like to have 2, 3, 4. Some even like to have 5 tee boxes. But I'm going to show you how to add them first. So, first of all, we're going to make some actual tee boxes. We're not going to put the tees on yet. We're going to make tee boxes first. And what might throw some people off when they go to create add and surfaces, they might be looking for a tee box surface. It's not there, okay? The game, I believe, uses green, actually, as a default tee box surface. Rich, thanks for the follow. I like to use green. And then in terms of how I want it to look, I'm going to tend to probably use brushes here. And you can do whatever you want. You can have like maybe a square tee box with a couple tees on one teeing area. You can just do the classic circle. You can do whatever you want. Like, it's endless. For the sake of this video, I'm going to keep it really easy. And I'm just going to do 4 tee boxes. And I'm just going to make them circles. So I'll show you how I do it. So I've got green here. And I'll put it down like that. And then I'll go to rough. I haven't moved my cursor. Oop, that's too many. And I'm just going to click like 3 or 4 times. 1, 2. Actually, I'm just going to do it twice, because that's going to leave a thick enough band of rough. And you should get a nice consistent band of rough around it. So then I go back into green. Basically rinse and repeat. A little bit smaller. Maybe I'll put this green a little bit off center. Can you do that with cart path width? Rough around the outside. Actually, I haven't tried it yet. Eric says it's been very hard not to stream over people lately. Eric, if you want to stream, like, go for it, man. I won't be offended if some of my viewers want to go and watch you. Like, go for it. More people streaming and showing different things, the better. The better. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing here. 2. And basically just repeat 2 more times. I like not to have them in a row. I like to kind of have them off center a little bit. Yeah, you can't, okay, yeah, Cyborg actually answered the question. You can't, if you're using brushes with paths, you won't be able to line the area with heavy rough. Cart paths, something we might not get to, just because I don't think this course is going to have cart paths. But it will be something I will most likely cover in an upcoming tutorial. Okay. So, now, we've got 4 tee boxes, but they're crooked. So we need to go in and flatten these. So we'll sculpt our land. I just like to use the nice basic circular brush. Set it to 0. Make it a little bit bigger. And just play with the height a little bit. One, 2, 3. And, the back tees, again, I like to make those obviously a little bit higher, because if you make them lower than the other tees, then you don't quite see the entire hole. This high enough? I think it's... Okay. So there's my tee boxes. Now I just need to put my tees down. Okay, so, you are going to go to... I need to remember myself. Nope. You're going to go to red, hole 1, red tees. There we go. And then we're going to add tee positions. So you add a tee position. Put 1 there. Add another tee position. Put 1 there. And add another tee position. And we'll put it right there. Okay, so now you'll see 4 red lines now making your way to the waypoint. I'll talk about how to change that waypoint in a second. But another thing is in terms of color, like what color do you want your tees? So right now, based on up here, my cursor's 1 yard from the blue tee, so it looks like it's going blue, white, green, red. And I might not like that order. In fact, I don't like that order. So we're going to switch up our tee color here. So T1, I'm going to make black. And then I'm going to go over this tee. I'm going to change this color. I'm going to make the second tees blue. And the third one, I am going to make, let's go white. And then the fourth, we will make, we'll keep it red. Eric says the only challenge to doing it this way is that when you create the other 17 holes, it will throw those other 3 tees down in front automatically, which is no big deal. Yeah, so it will throw, once you make your second hole, it'll just throw 4 tees there, so you're going to have to kind of move them around. But, yeah, just one thing to think about. That tee's a little off-center. Just move it. Okay, another cool thing you can do is obviously you don't have to have those little balls. You can change your tee markers. There's lots of different options. Those little golf balls, little pegs like this. Maybe you want them to look like that. These are new. Oh, that's kind of cool. There's a couple new tee markers here. Oh, I like those. Let's try those. Those are new. Lots of different options. There's a few new ones. Let's go with these. Kind of neat. Sure, why not? Okay, so our tees are down. So tees check. Fairway bunkers. There's something wrong with this one. So at this point, before I really start diving into the aesthetics of the hole, is where I kind of do a little bit more tinkering. And I probably should do a play test. We still haven't played test this hole. What if this hole doesn't play well at all? So let's go to play test here. So I'm going to set it to the back tees. There's only one pin right now. And I'm just going to hit play hole. And then you kind of get a preview of what the flyover looks like. Again, we haven't done much with this hole yet, so it doesn't look that great, but it's a start. And then you can kind of have an idea. So, I mean, I'm using my master clubs. Hey, Dwayne, what's up? Welcome, welcome. So, and then you have to think about, okay, the one thing that sucks is you can't change the wind direction in the designer. It's something we've been asking for forever, but something we haven't been able to get. So right now, looking at that drive that I just bombed, whoops, I mean, I kind of took all the bunkers and stuff out of play. So that makes me think, have I made this hole long enough? But, you know, once you get any sort of headwind, those are going to be in play. If I get any sort of tailwind, people are going to maybe potentially worry about putting it in the rough here. So, yeah. Something to think about. Eric says, I notice you don't do a lot of measuring. And you are 100% correct. In fact, I do almost no measuring. I go totally on instinct. And I did show this measuring tool in our tutorials. But, you know, if you want to measure different areas, like maybe the smallest part of your fairway. Okay, that's about 25 yards. Maybe you want to measure the depth of your green. You can use that measuring tool and have it handy as much as you want. I'd use that tool almost zero. But it is a super handy tool if you're like I've had so much time in the designer I can eyeball things pretty well. But for newer designers, that measuring tool is a godsend, so something to check out for sure. Now, back to our playtest. So our playtest kind of uncovered that maybe we didn't quite measure this correctly. I mean, I landed it. Well, let's play it one more time. Oh. I actually have an idea to potentially counteract this. So, I mean, it's somewhat in play, depending on the wind. But what I might do is, just to make people think twice, is I'm going to actually slope this fairway down towards the rough here. So if people do bomb their drive, they gotta be really careful they doesn't run out to the fairway. And I can change the green firm, or the fairway firmness, the rollout, whatever. I could do that too. But I think, let's just experiment here with this a little bit. I don't want to make it too punishing, but maybe just like the end here. Brought this down. That could potentially roll in down into the rough. Try that. Is that my streaming hat? I have multiple streaming hats. This is just the closest one to my computer, so I put it on. Alright, so let's try this. Whoops. I don't have any of my feedback on. I forgot I was playing with a couple people last night. Well, that puts it in play. Okay. Rewind our shot. Cyborg's digging this hole? Yeah. I got lots of work on it, but I'm starting to think this, in terms of distance, isn't too bad. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Those bunkers are still in play. People can still pull. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Distances are fine for me. Okay, so let's recap what we've done so far. Again, I'm working a little bit slower than I usually do. But we've got our tee boxes, check. Our bunkers, I'm mostly happy with. I still don't know what's going to go here. Green is laid, but we have not done any sort of pins or breaks or anything. Yeah, I haven't, Coaster, I haven't seen you doing any streaming lately. Been too busy? Let's see. A tree to hit over in front of the green? I mean, okay, so this is where new designers start to try to artificially make a course hard. So, you know, it can be a good idea. Maybe we're going to put some, you know, smaller bushes and shrubs around here. But if I just straight up added a tree like this, would that be fair? I don't think so. I mean, you can probably hit a wedge over it, but that would look kind of silly. And then that completely ruins the view. So I want to keep that pretty open. So, probably not the greatest idea there. Okay. Natural rock slab sticking out of the front hill will look awesome. Yeah, that's actually what I'm probably going to do. I was teasing that I didn't know what I was going to do there, but I've kind of been thinking that for the last half hour. But we'll get to there when we get to there. That's a good idea. So now we're kind of going to start getting to the aesthetics. This hole is very kind of plain looking. Now we're going to start trying to make this pretty. So let's do that. Water hazard. We got a bunch of water hazards. How's it going, Bat? Bat Fastard. I like your name. Okay, so we're going to sculpt land. I'm going to get rid of all my little bushes and plants and pretty much everything here. Oh, before I really start diving into planting, I do want to talk about heavy rough, and this is one thing I still don't think they have fixed. And it's a bit of a pain, and most of the new designers probably won't notice this, but for an experienced designer, it's a huge pain in the butt. So if you look, and it depends on the theme, it's more pronounced in some themes than others. It's a real pain in the butt when you're doing a desert course. Not so much a pain in the butt if you're doing a more forested course. Highlands depends on lighting and things. But right now, if you look at your rough and your heavy rough, you know, a lot of your heavy rough, you just kind of get this natural green. But you notice how there's some brown spots kind of all over the place? Now, some people want that to be more of a nice lush green. So what they do is they'll add some heavy rough. Thanks for the follow, Mr. Batfaster. So let's just use a shape for an example. And, you know, they'll start laying it down. And as you can see, you get a nice deep green color. Looks a lot better. Okay? So then you might be just like, oh, well, let's just lay the whole thing down with heavy rough and we're going to be good. But it creates one real annoying problem. So if I just put some heavy rough like this, watch this line here. See how it's nice and straight right now? Oh, now it's not because I clicked it. See how it's nice and straight here? I just gave away what's going to happen. Once I lay down heavy rough, watch what happens. It gets all squiggly. Now, for most people, they might be like, okay, who cares? I don't even notice it from here. But when you are in the rough and you are a lens here, that is super glaring for some designers. Some absolutely loathe it. Some don't mind. I'm kind of in the middle. Sometimes it drives me nuts. Sometimes it doesn't. So some people just like to go around and you have to be very careful not to hit the edge. And they just kind of drag it. And they try not to hit the edge. And they go around their entire hole doing this. As for me, I don't care too much, especially on a rugged course like this. I don't mind some of this stuff is around. So, I mean, it's not a big deal for me. Hey, Treewood, see you later. I might be doing some F1 racing later today, so I don't know if you'll be around, but might do that later. Yeah, it takes a long time, and it's probably the most annoying part. Do we still need to worry about heavy roughs? Yeah, we were just talking about that, so that heavy rough screwing up the light rough edges is still a thing. And I've tried laying splines, I've tried putting layers down in different orders. No matter what I do, I'm still getting that. And I'm not sure why they can't fix that. It's got something to do with the layering and the priorities of the different layers, but it's a pain. Hey, Arctic Fury. Now he's probably one of your top designers in the game, Arctic Fury, so pretty much anything he makes is freaking amazing. He just came out with a great course. I think it's called Appletown? Apple something? If you find Appletown Golf, I don't know. Plug your course, Arctic Fury. But I played it a couple days ago and it was awesome. He says HB could easily fix these textures. Most of the issue are just a color issue. Plus they need more rugged, less synthetic turf. More imperfections patches. Yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing, like if you want to fix some spots, like let's say I want to make this spot maybe a little more green. Once you do that, then if you notice, if you look from high up, then it looks really odd. Actually, it's not really doing what it used to. There we go. Still getting those imperfections. Because then you get some really deep greens, some really light greens. It can get a little messy. Appletown, yeah. Give that one a play for sure. I'm just going to actually go around. I'm going to fix a few areas. Yeah, for the sake of this being a tutorial, I'm not going to painfully do the entire part. But actually that doesn't look too bad, just fixing some things. It blends actually a little bit better than it did in TGC 2, now that I'm looking at it. It's not a horrible blend. Yeah, Eric hit it on the head. Once you start laying down heavy rough, you're kind of committed to it. But it's actually layers better than it used to. Quite a bit, actually. Unless it's just the lighting here, but the layer pretty good. Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. Is that supposed to be a rock poking through? I mean, it's kind of a rocky, more bare section, and you can do different things to... I'll show you some other little tricks. I don't know if it'll be today, but to kind of get a rockier look as well. Fairways need more burnt yellow patches. Yeah, there's a little more texture options. Maybe a little bit more imperfections. Viper, watched 3 instructional videos on YouTube. Nice work, thank you. I created courses the original TGC, but found the one in TGC 2 overly cumbersome. Yeah, they did add a lot more from TGC 1 to TGC 2, but just comes down to learning the tools, and it does take some time. But a little patience, and you'll have it kind of figured out. You'll have it figured out in no time, hopefully. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually... Yeah, it doesn't blend too badly. Anyway, enough with the heavy rough. This waypoint here, we need to change that. I want the waypoint to be kind of here, because I want the this kind of directs where the camera is going to go on the flyover, and it also will dictate what club will be handed to you off the tee. So if I go to move waypoint, I can now move this. So if I move it to, if I make it really short, like that, it'll give my golfer a 3-wood or a 5-wood off the tee, which, you know, if I'm hitting driver and I can hit it, I want to make sure I give the guy driver. Which can be kind of a common mistake, and sometimes I make the mistake too of, you know, you get a nice big wide open par 5, but maybe you haven't set the waypoint properly, and you've set it for like 230 yards out, and it gives you like a 5-wood to tee off, and you don't notice until you hit it, and you're like, oh, why is my driver not out? So, just little tiny thing to think about it. What else we got? I keep hoping someone will make Hazeltine or the last Ryder Cup is played. I haven't seen a real course creation of that yet. I can actually move... Yeah, I know, waypoints used to be super annoying, but they've made it easier. They've definitely cleaned the UI up for sure. Okay. So now, I want to play a little bit with the textures. Let's just save this. I realize I haven't saved this. That would be horrible if this crashed. Yeltsman's working on a Hazeltine. Beautiful. Yeltsman's a good RCR guy, so that'll be really good. Okay. Textures. Sorry, a lot of thoughts going through my head right now. Check one thing. Sorry. No live streaming here. I've got work emails, I've got all this stuff. I'm a teacher, so these are my last few days off. I go back to work on Tuesday, but it's been a nice summer off, but I'm ready to head back. Okay, textures. Sorry, guys. If I want to change my fairway texture, I just highlight it and select it. You can play with a whole bunch of different ones here. Yeah, maybe a bit deeper green. And I really like this feature because you can have Highlands courses that look very different. It's a good teaching practice. Well, I kind of think having some experience as a teacher is definitely helpful. I'm gonna try this deeper green here. Let's try rough. I like to kind of similar color. Like that, maybe a little bit deeper there. Heavy rough. Heavy rough's a big one because that drastically changes the look of your course. A little bit greener. You can make it super brown. It's snowy. Don't recommend that. Make it a bit of a deeper green. Yeah. Alright, I like that. And our green. Let's keep it hot. And now we also kind of want to look at how do we... There's a way for the mow pattern to be fixed. I saw it yesterday. Where is it? No. Hole 1 green button. Oh, I think I know where it is. I think it's just in course. There we go. Mow pattern. I like having the mowing intensity a little bit higher. Right. Do the same thing with the fairway. This is all just personal preference. Something like that. Alright, cool. Really wish they would bring back Sim Golf. That's actually... I saw a game called Boss Golf. It's in early alpha right now, and it has a very Sim Golfy kind of feel. So keep an eye out for something called Boss Golf. You might be happy. It's very Sim Golfy, where you kind of create your own little simple golf course and set prices and stuff. Kind of like Roller Coaster Tycoon for golf. Okay, so now we need to start making this look nice. Okay, so thoughts are I want to make some hills around here look a little bit more rugged. Maybe some trees, things like that. Yeah, it's like a management sim, golf course management sim. It was like from the 90s, I think, early 2000s. It's pretty old. Alright, so now I'm going to kind of just make some hills in here. Almost close this first hole in a little bit. Yeah, I had G-Dog actually give me the early access version of it. Definitely rough around the edges right now, but... Okay, so right now, kind of adding some hills. Something like that. Even just adding some just general, easy-looking hills. Yeah, I was playing that 2 Point Hospital game yesterday. Actually, might stream a little bit of it later today. It's pretty fun. Like that. It's basically that old theme hospital. Yeah, it was. I was having a blast playing that. Okay, so we got our hills. All right, so now we're gonna do some planting. Let's lower a few things in here. Again, if you have any questions or I'm going too fast, let me know. I really like doing the aesthetic part, and I tend to do it really quick, so let me know if you want me to talk my way through it a little bit better. Yeah, Sim Golf used to be one of my favorites. So I'm going to drop some of this down. Yeah, I was playing it on stream a couple weeks ago. Not sure what I'm trying to do there. Alright. I will show you a little tip if you want to get more of a rocky look like this. And I haven't actually tried it in TGC 2 or TGC 2019. But I'm going to try it here. Did I add cart paths? I'm not going to add cart paths on this course. But I will in other courses for sure. Hey, thanks for the bits there, Eric. Appreciate you popping in, saying hi, helping out. Mulch cart paths? Yeah, that'd be kind of neat. I'm not, again, like I said, cart paths not really going to do. So I'm going to show you kind of how to make a rockier look. And all you have to do is take a tree, any tree. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Can you not lower trees anymore? Into the ground? Am I doing something? wrong? Oh, right, it's bumpers. I forgot. So yeah, just lower it into the ground and let's see if this works. Usually the ground right above it should get all rocky. Oh, it doesn't work anymore. It's getting a little more rocky. Oh, it's not doing it like it used to. That is odd. Okay. It annoys me that this game still allows joint cross-platform. I mean, not a lot of games do cross-platform stuff, but yeah, it does kind of suck. I agree. Okay. So I'm going to do some kind of hyper planting, and I plant pretty quickly. I try to get as natural kind of a look as I can, so basically what I try to do is I try to plant, I kind of do what's called spam planting, so I'll just have one bush, and I'll just kind of hit the A button really fast, and I'll lay a whole bunch of plants down at once. And then I'll switch to another one, and I'll do the same thing. It's basically all about layers here. Go again, I'll try another one here. And again, you can raise and lower them, or whatever you want. See, you can make them go bigger or smaller. Like that. Out of gorse, but oh, don't want to multiply that. You get the same effect lowering a bush. Oh, really? Okay, that's a good tip there, Arctic. Alright, so I'll do that, and then I'll kind of add some grass. Like so. And then maybe I'll throw in another type of... Maybe I'll highlight a few little of these flowers in here. Rotate them occasionally. And just... all these bushes maybe. The Bob Ross. Yeah. A lot of happy little bushes around here. I mean,
yeah,
kind of a natural little area. Oh, they got a whole bunch of YouTube subscribers today. That's awesome. Okay. Something like that.
oh yeah.
Another one. Thanks, guys. Appreciate them. Okay. Now what else do I want to do here? I'm still not sure if I want this to be like tree lined. Let's try some. I'm gonna save this because I'm gonna try something a little bit different. Because we could do traditional links where there's like no trees, or we could kind of make it a hybrid. So we're gonna try it, and you guys are gonna give me an opinion. So give me like 5 minutes right now, and I'm gonna see if you guys like this or not. I like that tree. So right now I'm just kind of, I'm rotating, I'm changing the size, I'm changing the shape. Just don't spam plant trees a lot, because it's very easy to get, like if I just did straight line of trees, they're all exactly straight, they're exactly the same size, they're exactly the same distance apart, so just be careful with that. Chainsaw, yeah, there's someone outside with a chainsaw, you guys can hear that? Oh yeah, you guys definitely can hear that. Sorry. That's loud. Stop! Personally, you like this better already? Well, I'm not close yet to done here. It's kind of going to be almost like a Pacific coastal. I built a course in TGC 1. It was called the Timberwolf. And I'm going to be heavily using that to influence this course. If it sees the light of day, I don't know yet. It's going to be mostly evergreens. Eric's addicted. Okay, now we just need some underbrush here. Eric loves his TGC. We all do. Right now. New game's out, it's all very exciting. Now, one thing new designers do have to worry about is it can be very tempting just to mass plant everything. But you have to keep in mind, see this little yellow bar here? It's starting to show up. Once, that's your object limit. So as you add more trees and plants and everything yourself, that bar will keep creeping up, creeping up, creeping up, creeping up. If it reaches past here, you will not be able to publish a course because it will be too big. You will hit the object level. So just keep that in mind. And as you're going through, just say, okay, how much have I planted here? Just, where is here? Sorry, you probably can't see my cursor. There we go. So halfway point, once it hits past here, you're in trouble. Okay? So right now mine's over here. I got lots of room still. But it can add up very quickly. Especially if you do the multi-planting, like if you want to add a whole bunch of grass, it can fill up quickly. So don't try to fill your entire course empty plot with long grass. It may seem like a good idea to get rid of some empty space, but it's going to make you have to delete a whole bunch of stuff at the end. So just be wary of that. So I'm gonna add some grasses here at some point. Yeah, so the empty circle to the full circle. So right now I'm kind of planting in clusters. So I'm gonna switch over and do some grass. So this I will multi-plant some grass in some areas. But, I mean, while I'm doing this, just keep an eye on that little yellow bar as I'm doing this, and just watch how quickly it can go up. Just from a few little plants here. This is why you don't want to do too much with the multi-planting. Hopefully you can kind of get an idea. That went up a fair bit, and that was just a little bit of grass. Okay, it's coming along here. Alright, we're going to play with some rocks here now. Do you finish a hole before moving on to a next one? Oh, that's a good question. I do, and that's probably something not a lot of people do. A lot of people will just lay down the holes, their basics, and then do all their planting at the end. I like to 100% finish a hole before I move on. I don't know why, it's just always been my style, but it's kind of whatever works for you. The shadows and the wind are pretty crazy right now, tree shadows. Another thing is shadows is something to think about. So remember, depending on your lighting, I've placed these trees kind of on purpose because I don't want my entire green to be shaded. You can have parts of it shaded, but I try not to put any pin positions in shadows or anything as best I can. So something to be careful about when you're laying trees and stuff down, just to watch your shadows. Okay, so we were going to look at rocks, weren't we? So one thing that I am Arctic Fury, if you're still here, I immediately thought of is you can You can multi-plant rocks now, and it doesn't look crazy. Well, that looks crazy, but something like that. I know you like to do all those little rocks at once, but like you can pretty easily make some pretty cool beach areas with that, and they're different arrangements, different shapes. I mean, that'll be a huge time saver. Again, that eats up a ton of resources, but kind of a neat thing to have if you want to make some little rock faces and stuff like that. So it's kind of neat. I mean, show you here. You can just make kind of a cool little. And I mean, that's just one brush. Change the fill pattern, whatever. So kind of neat. Probably something I'll use on this course, just not in that point. But yeah, I saw that a couple days ago. I'm like, that's kind of neat. Okay, rocks. That's not what I wanted to do with the rocks. I wanted to kind of make a little rock wall here. So I'm going to make this rock really big. Oh wow, it takes a long time to make it really big. Interesting. And just kind of sink it into the ground a little. Let's rotate it a little more. I'll switch out my rocks. Get down. Here. Rotate. Make it bigger. You can raise and lower rocks. I don't know what people are talking about. I don't really like what I'm doing here. I think that natural rock edge is fine. But that's not something. I do want some rocks in here. Kind of hide them. Tuck one in there. There. Yeah, shoutbox can be an interesting place. I'm just kind of tucking in some rocks here. Unassuming. Unassuming rocks. Loading. Something like that. So, you know, it takes a little time to get an eye for planting, but I just recommend start playing with it, and people have different styles, right? Have you figured out how to do a 4-player free-for-all? There's a stat area. When I do search for a match, all that's available is head-to-head. No, I actually haven't done any matchmaking yet. I've been spending a lot of time in the designer, and all my games have been just 4-player private matches with people, so I haven't had a chance to try out the matchmaking yet. You hate the yellow edge. What do you mean the yellow edge? What are you talking about? Like the yellow edge on the, like those? Pretty sure they had, like, I don't know what you mean. Yeah, I'm kind of gonna use this natural downslope here to my advantage for planting here. Nature. My planting right now a little bit. Oh, also, like, if you want, another trick is, I mean, if you want a different looking bush, just take a tree and sink it down. And you get a different looking bush. Something like that. Something different. Oh, when you lower something. Oh. I haven't really noticed it enough for it to be annoying. Watching this is probably not overly exciting, but this is my favorite part. Demoting a tree. Never thought of it like that. Poor tree. I don't know. This is not my best planting work, but I'm kind of rushing this a little bit. I'm going to sink this a little more into the ground. Too much into the ground. A little bit too much. The build menu needs a favorite section. That's actually a good idea, like to pick some of your more popular plants and shrubs and brushes and things like that. I feel like that's something they were toying with, I think back in TGC 2 when they were working on the designer. So another tip I have with planting is don't waste your plants. You might think that that bar is going to last forever, but you just use them wisely. So if you're doing planting on stuff that no one's ever going to see, then you're wasting valuable resources. Okay, so now I want to put a few trees on the left here, but I don't want to. I'm afraid I'm going to ruin that view. So I'm going to be very careful what I plant here. Might do like a single tree, something. Not sure yet. A lot going on in the sub menus. Yeah, especially if you're a new designer, that's what a lot of people in the comments have been telling me, that's the worst part. It's just super overwhelming. And I agree. Like these menus in UI can be super confusing at the start, but it does come down to practice and just getting to know where everything is. And unfortunately, it's not something you can learn instantly. It takes some patience and time in the designer, really learning about where everything is and what it does. I still don't know where some things are. There'll be still times where I'm like, I don't know where that brush is, or I don't know where that tool is. I have to really think about where it is. Nope, not gonna do that. Always count on Doily. What a jerk. Bring that left coastline lower and closer to the fairway at the beginning. You'll have an amazing view. Yeah, so something like this you're saying. Got in a little, not quite what I wanted to do, but wrecking my bunker. That will help though, it's just that wasn't what the explosion, bro. Yeah, that's great minds think alike, Eric. Rugged terrain there. Like it? Yeah. Pretty good. How far out does this water go? Not very far. Yeah. I'd have loved to have put like a anchor off in the distance, but this container ship's a little too close to shore for me. Not terrible. Seems planted. Yacht out there. That's Doyley's yacht from his TGC Tours money. The SS Jerk. Tigers in town. One of many, yeah, with his donations there. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit more in terms of planting. Not too much, but I am going to kind of create a little bit more of a rugged, not as bare coastline. Just where people can see. I don't want to waste resources on areas that aren't visible. That's looking hideous. Hold on. Oh, tree there, single tree, not that one. Hey man, what's up? Welcome, welcome. I don't want to auto plant rocks like that. It's fine. Pass around. Okay. Okay, a couple more little planting tips. I really like to draw the eye off the tee to certain parts. So I mean, I want people to kind of look off to the left here. So I have a few tricks to help draw people's eyes certain places, and there are various brushes, and there's various plants that seem to work in almost every theme. They're in the global plants. It's this one. I really like this one. Seems to draw people's eye quite a bit. Just not a ton, just a few. Just a different kind of sharper color. Put them right at the front. Yeah, that's actually what I've planted here isn't really going to be visible, but little things there. This plant's helpful too. I don't know if this one's super yellow in this version. I don't think that's going to quite fit in this theme, but some of these global plants work okay. Like some wildflower. Sometimes I don't like how those ones show up. This white flower sometimes does an okay job, but sometimes it looks like it's glowing. You can see I like planting. First ace! Congrats! Oh, I feel like I should put a rock there. Buried into the... ground rocks. Second one. I don't know if that's fine. Okay. Okie dokie. I should probably show you guys fences. how to build a fence. We're getting close to the end here. And this hole I will tinker with probably a little bit more, but we're about 2 hours. It usually doesn't take me 2 hours to build a hole. I'm just going a little bit slower. Okay, so I'm trying to just flatten the edges a little bit. I haven't actually used, this will be my first time using the fence tool in the new game. And I still haven't decided what's going to go here. I don't know what's going there yet. But yeah, okay, create add, place objects, walls and fences. We got a few to pick from. I like this white one. Okay. So I like to kind of start with a long fence. And start it kind of around there. Okay, so we got to make sure we go snap to object. So when we go snap to object, they should just glue together. I like the fence tool this year. It's a little bit easier to use. Should I buy this game? Yes, I think so. If you like golf, you like course design. It doesn't snap to object all the time. Yeah, you can raise lower as it's on too, so that's a big addition as well. So I'm gonna have some floating areas here, but we're gonna fix that. We will fix that. So right now we've got hover fence here. Hover fence. Snap to object, snap to location. I'm not sure what the difference between snap to objects and snap to location is, because they're doing the same thing. That was snap to object. Odd. Weird. Snap tool works a little differently. Alright, yes, the hover fence. You can build fences pretty fast. Alright, stop it a little bit. Right there. So we're definitely going to have to raise some things up here. This might be a little trickier than I originally had thought of here. Oh, a bit higher than I wanted it. Hey Cyborg, thanks for the bits. Just had to take the bits lead, didn't you? Appreciate it. Oh boy, this is looking like... I don't know what it's looking like. Oh, they're having a bit war. Not a bit war going on, folks. Right now, I'm just trying to flatten. Oh boy. Thanks, guys. Well, it's gonna look... I hope it's gonna look better after this. Guys, so... I love it. Love the bit battle. Alright, so there's kind of a simple fence. Oh, we need a fence post at the end. We forgot that. Objects, walls, and fences. That is weird. There's our fence post. He's running low. I loving the bit battle here, boys. I think I might just do a little bit of... Yeah, we'll just keep it there for now. And then our final thing we're going to do is our pin positions. In there. There. One there. And something like that. And then from there, you can play with your greens. I mean, maybe I want this front edge to slope downwards. Just be very careful when you're doing your greens. You don't want any of your pins to be on super yellow slopes. Like that one almost is. I mean, very basic, but that's just to kind of show you how you put down some breaks, some basic ones. You can make two-tiered green. We talked about that a little bit more in the tutorials, but that is, after, I mean, 2 and a bit hours, we went from a blank canvas to this. I mean, it's not a bad start. I still think it needs a little bit of work, but
Oh yeah!
not too bad. Oh, we got another YouTube follower as well. So I think that's going to about wrap up my full course design tutorial. We will put this onto YouTube, so you can refer to this whenever you'd like. And yeah, I will probably do some more of these in the future as well. We did not even come close to covering everything, but I think we got most of the basics down. Can I buy RAM for a PC at Best Buy? You should be able to, I think. I would order it online, to be honest. Which courses did I do? Are you asking me? Did I do for TGC 19? I just have one out, one port. It's called Burrowing Owl Golf Club, so if you want to give that a play, I highly appreciate it. It's a desert course that I built back in TGC 2. So thank you guys. I might be on a little bit later, but yeah, I think we will probably shut the stream off here. I'm going to take a break. I might be playing some F1 or some more. I don't know, probably some more of this, more designing. I don't know. I got the day off, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I just need I need a quick hour break or so. Eric, how much RAM should you buy? I'm running 16 gigs. 8's okay, but 8 you're probably going to need to upgrade sooner rather than later. I would go with 16. So, yeah, use, look on Reddit. You should get a lot of good ideas there. Okay, guys. That is it for me for now. I'll be back, obviously, with some more tutorials and design and all that stuff very soon. But thanks for watching, and see you later.